Life often pulls us in countless directions: work, relationships, obligations. But what if the key to a better life isn't in focusing on everything else, but on yourself? Today we're diving into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism to explore 8 powerful lessons that can transform your life when you shift your attention inward. What happens when you stop chasing external distractions and focus on your own growth, mindset, and well-being? Let's find out together. Welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for practical wisdom to create a more peaceful and purposeful life, you've come to the right place. Let's explore the Stoic philosophy and discover how focusing on yourself can bring clarity, strength, and freedom. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's begin. Number 1. The dichotomy of control. The concept of the dichotomy of control originates from the ancient Stoic philosophy, which teaches that life is divided into 2 realms: things within our control and things outside of our control. This distinction is crucial for understanding how to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom and tranquility. According to the Stoics, we should focus our efforts only on those things that are within our control and accept with equanimity those things that lie beyond our influence. This principle is grounded in the belief that our internal state, our judgments, thoughts, and actions, are the only aspects of our lives we can truly govern. On the other hand, external events, the actions of others, and the forces of nature are beyond our control, and thus, worrying about or trying to control them is futile and leads only to frustration and distress. In its simplest form, the dichotomy of control suggests that we have control over our responses, attitudes, and actions, but we cannot control how others behave or the outcomes of events. For instance, we cannot control the weather, the global economy, or the opinions others have about us, but we can control how we respond to these external factors. A key Stoic figure, Epictetus, emphasized this by stating, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This mindset helps us release unnecessary anxiety and frustration, as it encourages us to focus on what we can change, our own behavior and mindset, while relinquishing the need to change the world around us. The dichotomy of control also encourages a deep sense of personal responsibility. When we acknowledge that only our actions are within our control, we are compelled to take full ownership of them. It teaches us to be proactive in our thoughts and behavior, recognizing that our choices shape our experiences. This sense of responsibility leads to greater empowerment as we realize that while we can't dictate the outcomes of every situation, we have the power to influence how we experience them. For example, if we face a challenging situation at work or in a relationship, we may not be able to control the circumstances, but we can control how we approach the challenge, how we communicate, and how we manage our emotions. Furthermore, the dichotomy of control highlights the importance of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather the acknowledgement that some things are simply beyond our influence. The Stoics believed that by accepting what we cannot change, we can achieve peace of mind. This acceptance helps us avoid the frustration that comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. For instance, when faced with the loss of a loved one or a sudden illness, we cannot change the fact of the loss or the illness itself, but we can control how we grieve, how we adjust our lives in response, and how we find meaning in our experiences. In this way, we can maintain our inner peace despite external turmoil. One of the greatest benefits of applying the dichotomy of control is its potential to reduce stress and anxiety. In today's fast-paced, unpredictable world, it is easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of things we cannot control. Whether it's global events, societal trends, or personal disappointments, much of our time and energy is often spent on worrying about things that are out of our hands. By recognizing the limits of our control, we can direct our attention and energy toward the aspects of life where we can make a meaningful difference. This shift in focus allows us to reclaim our mental and emotional energy, freeing us from the constant battle with the uncontrollable. The result is a greater sense of serenity and emotional resilience. The dichotomy of control is not only a tool for personal peace, but also for achieving greater effectiveness in life. By focusing on our own actions and responses, We become more intentional and mindful in our approach to challenges. This shift in perspective encourages proactive decision-making, as we choose to invest in what we can influence and accept what we cannot. Instead of becoming paralyzed by uncertainty or frustration over external factors, we take responsibility for our own actions and cultivate a mindset of growth and adaptability. Ultimately, the dichotomy of control teaches us to live with purpose, recognizing that while we cannot control everything, we can control the way we engage with the world around us. In conclusion, the dichotomy of control is a powerful philosophical concept that can bring clarity, peace, and focus to our lives. By distinguishing between what we can and cannot control, we can cultivate a more serene and empowered way of being. This mindset helps us to let go of unnecessary anxieties, accept life's uncertainties, and take responsibility for our own actions. As we practice this Stoic principle, we become better equipped to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and resilience, finding contentment not in controlling everything, but in mastering our responses to the world as it is. Number 2. Self-reflection and awareness. Self-reflection and awareness are powerful tools that can shape our lives in profound ways. In a world where distractions are abundant and the external pressures of daily life often overwhelm us, taking the time to reflect on ourselves and develop a deeper awareness can lead to transformative growth. Self-reflection is the process of looking inward to examine our thoughts, emotions, actions, and beliefs. It requires a willingness to step back from the hustle and bustle of life and engage in introspection, considering how our experiences, values, and aspirations align with our present circumstances. When we engage in self-reflection, we gain a clearer understanding of who we are, where we've been, and where we want to go. One of the most crucial aspects of self-reflection is the ability to question ourselves honestly and without judgment. It's easy to get caught up in the routine of life, running on autopilot without ever stopping to truly assess our inner state. However, when we take the time to reflect, we open ourselves to the possibility of change. This process can help us identify negative thought patterns, unhealthy habits, or limiting beliefs that have been holding us back. It allows us to understand the underlying reasons behind our actions and reactions, providing the insight necessary to make more conscious, intentional decisions moving forward. For example, when we reflect on our reactions to challenging situations, we may uncover feelings of fear, insecurity, or anger that drive our behavior. Recognizing these emotions can give us the opportunity to address them in healthier ways, fostering emotional growth and resilience. Awareness, on the other hand, is the ability to be present and attuned to our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. It is about being mindful of the moment and tuning into our internal and external environments. Awareness allows us to notice the subtle cues and patterns in our thoughts and behaviors that might otherwise go unnoticed. By cultivating awareness, we become more attuned to our emotional states, motivations, and desires. We begin to recognize when we are acting out of habit rather than choice, or when we are influenced by external pressures rather than our own values. This heightened sense of awareness can help us break free from automatic reactions and cultivate a deeper sense of authenticity in our lives. The practice of self-reflection and awareness also plays a crucial role in emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and manage our emotions, as well as understand the emotions of others. It is deeply connected to self-reflection, as it requires us to examine our feelings and how they impact our interactions with others. Through self-reflection, we can develop a better understanding of our emotional triggers, learning to regulate our responses in a way that promotes healthier relationships and more positive outcomes. Additionally, by becoming more aware of the emotions of those around us, we can cultivate empathy and respond to others with greater compassion and understanding. Self-reflection and awareness also contribute to personal growth by helping us align our actions with our core values and long-term goals. When we are not mindful of our thoughts and behaviors, it is easy to become distracted by short-term desires or external expectations. However, through reflection, we can reconnect with what truly matters to us. It becomes easier to make decisions that are in line with our authentic selves rather than conforming to societal pressures or the expectations of others. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and purpose as we begin to live more intentionally and authentically. Furthermore, self-reflection and awareness can enhance our overall well-being. By regularly checking in with ourselves, we create space for self-compassion and self-care. When we are aware of our needs, whether emotional, physical, or mental, we are better equipped to address them in a timely manner. This not only improves our emotional and physical health, but also helps to reduce stress and increase our sense of peace. Moreover, by reflecting on our experiences, we can develop a greater sense of gratitude, recognizing the lessons and growth that come from both positive and negative moments. In conclusion, self-reflection and awareness are essential practices for personal development and emotional well-being. They offer us the opportunity to understand ourselves better, break free from limiting patterns, and align our actions with our core values. By fostering self-awareness, we can cultivate a deeper sense of authenticity and emotional intelligence, leading to healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. In a world that often encourages us to look outward, the act of looking inward through self-reflection and awareness provides a powerful means to unlock our true potential and live with purpose and intention. Number 3. Live according to nature. Living according to nature is a concept that has inspired thinkers, philosophers, and environmental advocates for centuries. It embodies a way of life that is aligned with the natural world, embracing simplicity, balance, and harmony. At its core, this philosophy suggests that humans should adopt lifestyles that are more in tune with the earth, its ecosystems, and the cycles that govern all life forms. In a modern context, this idea calls for a reevaluation of the ways in which we live, consume, and interact with the world around us. The notion of living according to nature advocates for an existence that seeks to minimize harm to the environment and promotes sustainable living. It is about choosing a path that not only preserves the planet for future generations, but also nurtures a deeper connection between individuals and the world they inhabit. One of the fundamental principles of living according to nature is simplicity. In a world that often values accumulation and excess, this approach stands in stark contrast. It encourages individuals to reject the constant pressure to consume more, whether in terms of material possessions, food, or even digital content. Instead, it champions the idea of living with only what is necessary and fostering a deeper appreciation for what we have. This practice of simplicity can lead to a more fulfilled, less stressed life, as it allows people to focus on the essentials, meaningful relationships, personal growth, and a deeper connection to the environment. By reducing our reliance on excessive resources, we not only improve our well-being, but also help to decrease the ecological footprint we leave behind. Living in balance with nature is another key tenet of this philosophy. It invites individuals to reflect on the interconnectedness of all living things and the importance of maintaining equilibrium within ecosystems. Every action has an impact, whether it's on the local environment or on a global scale. By fostering a balanced relationship with the earth, we can reduce the negative effects of overconsumption, pollution, and habitat destruction. This balance is not just about reducing harm, but also actively restoring and nurturing the land, water, and air that sustain life. Practices like sustainable farming, organic gardening, and tree planting are examples of ways people can contribute to the health of the planet and foster harmony with the environment. Another important aspect of living according to nature is the respect for the cycles and rhythms of life. Nature operates on a set of rhythms, from the changing seasons to the phases of the moon, the rising and setting of the sun, and the birth, growth, and decay of living beings. These natural cycles serve as a reminder that everything has its time and place, and that humans are not separate from nature, but an integral part of it. By attuning ourselves to these rhythms, we can find greater peace and purpose in our lives. This might mean adopting more natural sleeping patterns, aligning our daily routines with the rising and setting of the sun, or embracing the seasonal changes by consuming foods that are in season and supporting local agriculture. Furthermore, living according to nature requires a shift in perspective, a move away from viewing the earth as something to be exploited, and towards seeing it as a partner in our survival and well-being. This shift in mindset is essential if we are to address the environmental crises that threaten the planet, such as climate change, deforestation, and pollution. By respecting the planet and its resources, we can make choices that prioritize sustainability and long-term health over short-term gain. This might involve adopting a plant-based diet to reduce carbon footprints, using renewable energy sources like solar and wind, or supporting companies that prioritize environmental responsibility. It's about making conscious choices that reflect an understanding of the deep connection between humanity and the earth. Living according to nature also emphasizes mindfulness and presence. In a fast-paced world dominated by technology and constant distractions, it is easy to lose touch with the natural world. The simple act of spending time outdoors, whether through hiking, walking barefoot in the grass, or simply sitting in silence, can have profound effects on our mental and physical health. Nature offers a sanctuary of peace and tranquility, a place where the noise of modern life can be quieted and where we can reconnect with our true selves. This connection to nature, in turn, fosters a sense of gratitude and reverence for the earth, encouraging us to protect and care for the world around us. In conclusion, living according to nature is about embracing simplicity, balance, and mindfulness in our lives. It calls for a deep respect for the natural world and a commitment to living in harmony with its cycles. By adopting practices that are more sustainable, more conscious of the environment, and more in tune with the natural world, we can not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the health and well-being of the planet. It's a call to return to a more authentic way of living, one that honors both our human nature and the earth that sustains us. Number 4. Mindfulness and present moment. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to become consumed by the past or future. We often find ourselves reflecting on yesterday's mistakes or anxiously planning for tomorrow's challenges. This constant mental chatter creates a disconnect from the present moment, making it difficult to experience life fully. Mindfulness, however, is the practice of bringing our full attention to the present moment, embracing whatever is happening right now, without judgment. It's a simple but profound shift in how we engage with the world and ourselves. Mindfulness encourages us to observe our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations with curiosity, allowing us to truly experience life in its raw, unfiltered state. At its core, mindfulness is about being aware of what's happening without rushing to change it. It's not about ignoring the past or future, but about acknowledging that the present moment is the only time we can truly control. In our everyday lives, we often rush through tasks, whether it's eating, driving, or even spending time with loved ones, without fully experiencing them. We eat our meals while distracted by screens, drive while lost in thought, and engage in conversations while mentally preparing our responses instead of listening. This fragmentation of attention prevents us from truly living in the present. Practicing mindfulness begins with noticing these moments of distraction and gently bringing our focus back to the present. It's about paying attention to our surroundings, our breath, and the simple sensations of our body. When we sit down for a meal, instead of multitasking, we can focus on the texture, taste, and aroma of the food. When walking, we can pay attention to the rhythm of our steps and the world around us. Even in conversations, being mindful means truly listening to the other person without judgment or distraction. This act of mindfulness nurtures deeper connections and allows us to experience moments more fully. One of the most significant benefits of mindfulness is its ability to reduce stress. When we are constantly thinking about the past or worrying about the future, we often feel overwhelmed, anxious, or helpless. Mindfulness, however, offers an antidote to these feelings by anchoring us in the present moment. It invites us to observe our stress without attaching to it, allowing us to respond to life's challenges from a place of calm rather than reaction. The practice of mindfulness helps us break the cycle of worry, replacing it with a sense of clarity and peace. Moreover, Mindfulness enhances our emotional regulation. By observing our emotions without judgment, we create a space between stimulus and reaction. This allows us to respond more thoughtfully to situations instead of being swept away by impulsive emotions. Mindfulness doesn't demand that we suppress or deny our feelings, but rather encourages us to acknowledge them without letting them dictate our actions. This emotional awareness is empowering and can lead to greater self-compassion. Research has also shown that mindfulness can improve physical health. Chronic stress, anxiety, and poor emotional regulation have been linked to a range of health problems, including heart disease, high blood pressure, and immune system dysfunction. By practicing mindfulness, we can reduce the physiological impact of stress, leading to improved overall well-being. Studies have found that individuals who engage in mindfulness meditation experience lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and report better sleep quality, lower blood pressure, and a greater sense of vitality. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life doesn't require drastic changes or time-consuming practices. It can begin with small, intentional moments throughout the day. Start by setting aside just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. You can practice mindfulness during routine activities like brushing your teeth, walking, or even waiting in line. By developing this habit, we begin to cultivate a deeper sense of presence and appreciation for the moment. Mindfulness also invites us to observe our thoughts with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment. We are often quick to label our thoughts as good or bad, but mindfulness teaches us to simply notice them as they are, without attaching value. This non-judgmental awareness helps us break free from the cycle of overthinking and self-criticism, allowing us to approach our thoughts with more compassion and acceptance. Living in the present moment doesn't mean that we stop planning for the future or reflecting on the past, but it does mean that we stop letting them dominate our minds. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more present in our everyday experiences and less overwhelmed by the noise in our minds. This practice helps us reconnect with ourselves and with the world around us, allowing us to lead lives that are not only more peaceful but more fulfilling. In conclusion, mindfulness is the practice of fully engaging with the present moment, free from distraction or judgment. It's a skill that helps us reduce stress, regulate our emotions, and improve our physical health. By incorporating mindfulness into our daily routines, we can develop a deeper connection to ourselves and others. Through this simple practice, we discover that the present moment, no matter how fleeting, is the only time we truly have, and it is more than enough. Number 5. Accepting impermanence. Life is a constant flow, ever-changing and unpredictable, and at the heart of this flow lies the truth of impermanence. From the fleeting beauty of a sunset to the inevitable passage of time, everything in existence is in a state of transition. Accepting impermanence is not about passively surrendering to the whims of life, but rather embracing the understanding that change is the only constant, and that it shapes our experiences in profound ways. This concept, deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy, teaches us that everything, including our thoughts, emotions, relationships, and even our very selves, is temporary. When we accept this truth, we can begin to live more fully, finding peace in the present moment, rather than clinging to the past or fearing the future. At the core of accepting impermanence is the recognition that attachment to things, whether material possessions, people, or experiences, can lead to suffering. Our minds tend to cling to what feels safe and familiar, desiring permanence in a world that offers none. We want to hold on to the moments of joy, success, and love, wishing they could last forever. However, in doing so, we set ourselves up for disappointment. The more tightly we hold on, the more we set ourselves up for the pain that comes when those things inevitably change or fade away. By resisting change, we only prolong our suffering, as we try to prevent the natural ebb and flow of life. The acceptance of impermanence, on the other hand, invites us to loosen our grip and allow things to evolve as they must. One of the most profound ways we can come to terms with impermanence is through mindfulness and presence. When we let go of the constant desire to control or predict the future, we begin to experience life as it is, in its raw and authentic form. Mindfulness teaches us to engage with the present moment, observing it without judgment or expectation. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to see the beauty in change and to appreciate the transient nature of our experiences. We realize that each moment, no matter how small, is unique and will never happen in exactly the same way again. This realization can bring a deep sense of gratitude for the fleeting nature of life, as we become more attuned to the preciousness of each moment. The impermanence of life also means that challenges and hardships are not permanent either. In times of struggle, it can be easy to fall into despair, feeling as though the difficulties we face will last forever. But by accepting the impermanence of our circumstances, we recognize that nothing, not even pain, is permanent. This awareness gives us the strength to endure tough times, knowing that change is inevitable and that better days will come. Just as joy and success are fleeting, so too are sorrow and hardship. The cycles of life constantly shift, and by understanding this, we can navigate through life with greater resilience. Moreover, accepting impermanence helps us cultivate a deeper sense of compassion, both for ourselves and others. We are all navigating through a world of constant change, and acknowledging this shared experience creates a bond of understanding. We are all vulnerable to loss, to the passage of time, to the unpredictability of life. By embracing impermanence, we open our hearts to the impermanence of others as well, recognizing that everyone is doing their best in a world that is constantly shifting. This empathy allows us to approach others with kindness and patience, understanding that they too are subject to the ebb and flow of life. In relationships, impermanence teaches us the importance of savoring the moments we share with others. Knowing that nothing lasts forever can prompt us to live more fully in our connections, cherishing the time we have with those we love. We may come to appreciate the small, everyday moments, conversations over a cup of coffee, a walk in the park, or a simple hug, as precious gifts, understanding that these will one day become memories. This awareness can deepen our appreciation for the people in our lives and encourage us to be more present with them, rather than taking them for granted. At the same time, accepting impermanence can free us from the fear of loss. When we accept that everything is in constant flux, we no longer see loss as an end, but as a natural part of the cycle of life. Each ending, whether it's the end of a relationship, a job, or a chapter in our lives, makes room for new beginnings. We come to understand that life is not a linear progression, but a series of cycles, and with each cycle comes new growth, new opportunities, and new experiences. In conclusion, accepting impermanence is not a resignation to the inevitable, but a celebration of life's fluid nature. It invites us to live more mindfully, to appreciate the present moment, and to embrace change with grace and resilience. It teaches us that by letting go of attachment and embracing the fleeting nature of life, we open ourselves up to deeper joy, connection, and peace. Rather than fearing the changes that come with time, we can learn to dance with impermanence, knowing that it is through change that we truly experience the fullness of life. Number 6. Self-discipline and resilience. Self-discipline and resilience are two crucial qualities that shape our ability to face challenges, stay focused, and ultimately achieve success. They are intertwined, each reinforcing the other, in the pursuit of personal and professional growth. Self-discipline is the capacity to control one's emotions, behaviors, and actions to achieve a goal, often despite temptations or distractions. It is the inner strength that enables us to stay committed to our tasks, consistently applying effort even when motivation wanes. Resilience, on the other hand, is the ability to bounce back from adversity, setbacks, or failures. It is the emotional strength that allows individuals to navigate through tough situations, remain optimistic, and continue forward. Together, self-discipline and resilience serve as a foundation for overcoming obstacles and striving toward success. Self-discipline is the starting point. It's about developing habits and routines that promote productivity and well-being. For instance, an athlete trains every day, regardless of how they feel, because they understand that progress is built through consistent effort. Likewise, someone pursuing a long-term project, be it writing a book, learning a new skill, or advancing in a career, relies on self-discipline to make steady progress, day by day. Self-discipline also involves prioritizing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, resisting the urge to give in to distractions like social media, procrastination, or unhealthy habits. It's not an easy feat. It requires patience, focus, and a deep understanding of the bigger picture. The temptation to deviate from the path can be overwhelming, but self-discipline pushes us to remain steadfast. However, even the most disciplined individuals encounter setbacks. Whether it's a project that doesn't go as planned, an unexpected obstacle, or personal challenges that arise, resilience is the quality that helps us recover and keep going. Life is full of uncertainties, and no one is immune to hardships. Resilience is about developing a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth. It's about accepting that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward improvement. A resilient person learns from their mistakes, adapts, and remains hopeful about the future. For example, an entrepreneur who faces repeated failures may feel disheartened, but uses each failure as a lesson to refine their approach. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding negative emotions, but rather understanding that emotions like frustration or disappointment are natural, and they don't define our ability to succeed in the long run. The relationship between self-discipline and resilience is reciprocal. Self-discipline cultivates resilience by teaching us to persevere through difficulties, while resilience, in turn, strengthens our ability to maintain self-discipline in tough times. When we face adversity, our level of resilience often determines whether we give up or push forward. If we are resilient, we are more likely to stay disciplined, even when the road gets rough. And when we remain disciplined, we are more likely to build the mental toughness needed to bounce back from setbacks. In this way, they work hand in hand to propel us toward our goals. Building both self-discipline and resilience requires a conscious effort. It starts with setting clear, achievable goals and developing strategies for managing time and resources. It also involves creating an environment that supports focus and determination, whether that's surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals, eliminating distractions, or cultivating a healthy routine. There are also mindset shifts to be made. Embracing the idea that setbacks are not failures but opportunities for growth can significantly enhance resilience. It's important to develop self-compassion, recognizing that it's okay to make mistakes and experience setbacks. This mindset encourages a constructive attitude toward challenges and reinforces the idea that each obstacle is an integral part of the journey toward success. Furthermore, regular reflection and adaptation are essential. Both self-discipline and resilience are built over time and through experience. Reflecting on past challenges and how we overcame them helps reinforce our belief in our abilities. It reminds us that we have overcome difficulties before and that we can do so again. Resilience is not about avoiding struggle. It's about developing the fortitude to face it head-on, learn from it, and emerge stronger. Ultimately, self-discipline and resilience are not just about reaching a specific goal. They are about the ongoing process of becoming a better version of ourselves. They are the tools that help us navigate life's uncertainties, maintain focus in the face of distractions, and bounce back stronger from adversity. Whether we are pursuing personal dreams or professional aspirations, self-discipline and resilience are the bedrock upon which lasting success is built. They shape our character and provide the strength to face whatever challenges lie ahead, knowing that with each step, we are closer to achieving our fullest potential. Number 7. Gratitude and contentment. Gratitude and contentment are two essential qualities that foster a sense of peace and fulfillment in life. In a world that often emphasizes what we lack or what we desire to achieve, cultivating gratitude can be a powerful antidote to feelings of discontent and inadequacy. Gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good things, no matter how small, that surround us. It is the awareness of the gifts, blessings, and positive experiences that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. When we are grateful, we shift our focus from what we don't have to what we already possess, be it relationships, health, opportunities, or simply the beauty of the world around us. Contentment, on the other hand, is the ability to find satisfaction and peace with what we have in the present moment. It is not about complacency or settling for less, but about embracing the idea that we do not need more to feel fulfilled. Contentment arises from within. It is a mindset that transcends external circumstances. When we are content, we cease to be driven solely by the pursuit of more wealth, status, or material possessions, and instead, we begin to appreciate the richness of what we already experience. Contentment is deeply intertwined with gratitude, as being grateful naturally leads us to feel more content with our current state. In today's fast-paced society, many of us are conditioned to chase after bigger, better, and more. Advertisements bombard us with promises that we will only be happy once we achieve the next milestone or acquire the latest product. Social media fuels this sense of competition, where we constantly compare ourselves to others, feeling as though we are falling behind. This can create a persistent feeling of longing or inadequacy, as if something is always missing from our lives. However, when we intentionally practice gratitude, we begin to recognize that our lives are already full of blessings and we can begin to appreciate them fully. Whether it is a moment spent with loved ones, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet cup of coffee in the morning, gratitude allows us to savor the present rather than always yearning for the next thing. The relationship between gratitude and contentment is cyclical. The more grateful we are, the more content we feel, and the more content we feel, the more grateful we become. This cycle of appreciation and satisfaction transforms our outlook on life. Rather than feeling constantly stressed about what we lack, we develop a sense of peace that comes from knowing that we are enough. Contentment doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement or personal growth. Rather, it means we find joy and fulfillment in the present, even as we work toward future goals. It is a balance between ambition and acceptance, between striving for more and appreciating what is already in our lives. Furthermore, the practice of gratitude has numerous benefits for our mental and physical well-being. Studies have shown that regularly expressing gratitude can lead to improved mood, reduced stress, better sleep, and even stronger immune function. Gratitude helps to reframe our thinking, encouraging a positive perspective that enhances our overall health. When combined with contentment, gratitude can act as a powerful tool for overcoming negative emotions such as envy, resentment, and frustration. In contrast to constantly chasing after more, gratitude and contentment teach us to slow down and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. They help us to cultivate inner peace and resilience, regardless of the challenges we may face. In our relationships, gratitude and contentment can also play a transformative role. By appreciating the people in our lives, we strengthen our bonds and deepen our connections. Instead of focusing on what others might be lacking or how they could be better, gratitude encourages us to see the beauty in their presence and contributions. Contentment within relationships fosters mutual respect and understanding, as both individuals find fulfillment in the shared experiences and moments of joy. In conclusion, gratitude and contentment are two interconnected virtues that lead to a life of peace, fulfillment, and happiness. By focusing on the positive aspects of our lives and learning to appreciate them, we create an inner sense of contentment that transcends external circumstances. In a world that often promotes endless striving and comparison, practicing gratitude and contentment offers a refreshing alternative, a way to live fully in the present moment, appreciating what we have, and finding joy in the journey rather than the destination. Number 8. Acting in service of others. Acting in service of others is an idea rooted in compassion, empathy, and the understanding that our actions can have a profound impact on the lives of those around us. It is a mindset that transforms ordinary lives into ones driven by purpose, creating an atmosphere where selflessness leads to personal fulfillment and collective well-being. This philosophy is not limited to grand gestures. It encompasses small acts of kindness, unwavering support, and the willingness to help, even when it requires sacrifice. At its core, acting in service of others is about shifting the focus from the self to the broader community, nurturing the connections that bind us as human beings. Service to others begins with a recognition of our shared humanity. Every person we encounter, whether friend, family member, or stranger, is a part of a larger social fabric, and every action we take ripples through that fabric in ways we may never fully understand. The power of this interconnectedness means that even the smallest act of kindness, holding the door for someone, listening to a friend in need, offering a smile to a stranger, can have far-reaching consequences. These seemingly simple gestures remind us of the value of human connection and the impact that kindness can have on the world. For those who seek a deeper meaning in life, acting in service of others is a call to live with purpose. In a world often dominated by individualism and personal success, it is easy to become consumed by the desire for recognition or achievement. However, the pursuit of self-centered goals can often lead to emptiness. True fulfillment comes not from what we acquire, but from what we give. Serving others provides a sense of meaning and direction that cannot be replicated by any material possession or personal accolade. It shifts the focus from the self to the welfare of others, inviting us to discover how we can contribute to the greater good. In many ways, the act of service is a way of practicing humility. It challenges the ego, pushing us to consider the needs and desires of others ahead of our own. When we put others first, we learn to value their perspectives, their struggles, and their joys. This practice fosters empathy and a deeper understanding of the world around us. Moreover, it reminds us that no one is an island. We all rely on others for support, guidance, and companionship. The act of helping others becomes a reciprocal exchange that enriches both the giver and the receiver. Moreover, acting in service of others nurtures a sense of community. In a world that can feel fragmented and divided, the simple act of supporting each other has the power to bridge gaps. When we dedicate ourselves to serving those around us, whether by helping a neighbor, mentoring a young person, or volunteering at a local organization, we strengthen the bonds that hold our communities together. Service reminds us that we are not isolated individuals, but rather part of something much larger, a collective that thrives when we work together and support one another. Service also has the remarkable ability to transform the giver. When we step outside our comfort zones and devote ourselves to helping others, we open ourselves up to new perspectives. We witness the struggles and triumphs of others, often finding that our own problems pale in comparison. This broadened worldview cultivates gratitude, humility, and resilience, as we recognize the strength in others and find the courage to face our own challenges. Serving others can be a source of immense personal growth, as it challenges us to be better, kinder, and more compassionate versions of ourselves. Furthermore, acting in service of others has a ripple effect. When we help one person, we inspire them to do the same for others. It creates a chain reaction of kindness, compassion, and generosity that spreads throughout society. This collective spirit of service has the power to shift societal norms and create a culture of care where people are committed to the well-being of others and the health of the community as a whole. It can lead to a world where kindness becomes the default response, where people act with consideration and empathy, and where the common good is prioritized over individual gain. In conclusion, acting in service of others is more than just a moral obligation. It is a transformative way of living that enriches both the individual and society. By shifting the focus from self-interest to collective well-being, we open ourselves up to deeper connections, greater fulfillment, and a profound sense of purpose. Service fosters empathy, builds community, and transforms lives, both for the giver and the receiver. It is an invitation to step outside ourselves and make a difference in the world, one act of kindness at a time. In a world that often feels divided, the act of service is a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and our capacity to create meaningful change. As we've seen today, Stoicism teaches us that true growth and peace come from within. By focusing on ourselves, our actions, and our reactions, we free ourselves from the chaos of external circumstances. The 8 lessons we've explored remind us to take control of what we can, our thoughts, our values, and our responses, and let go of what we can't. By practicing self-discipline, Embracing discomfort and letting go of the need for approval, we cultivate a life that's truly our own. The power of Stoicism lies in its simplicity. Focus on what you can control and let the rest unfold as it will. So, take these lessons to heart. Reflect on them, apply them, and watch as you transform your life from the inside out. Remember, the path to wisdom and peace is a journey, and it starts with focusing on you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. How do you plan to focus on yourself moving forward? Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing.